Hiya, Honest Discussioner here. I've made this video twice already, and both times my camera will not let the footage off of itself. So I'm going to try this one more time and break it up into smaller parts, and then possibly take the camera back because it won't let me take a 10-minute video that takes up a very small portion of the 4.0 gigabytes capacity. Damn you, Canon. Anyway, this video is called, you can look up there, It Doesn't Fit. And this is because so many theistic arguments don't fit. Do you remember when you were a kid and you had all of those different blocks that fit in the holes? You had the star block to fit in the star hole, and the square to fit in the square hole, and the rectangle, circle to fit in their holes. Well, what most theistic arguments try to do is take the square block and try to fit it in the star hole, or the star into the rectangle, and they'll show you how the one corner of the star fits into the rectangle, and they'll try to ignore all the other ones. When you point them out, they'll take the corner of the one they've already fit it to and fit it in the other one, not realizing that now the other corner doesn't fit. Well, there's somebody here that seems to be doing that, and I want to point that out. I just got a guy on my channel making a bunch of comments on my Philosophical Proofs 3 video. I'm going to encourage you all to go there and after I'm done this video and tell this guy how much of an epic fail he's been so far. His name is Believe It 1051. I've already told him I'm posting this video, although it's going to be late because my stupid camera won't let me take the stupid footage off of its stupid memory card. Anyway, this guy came onto my channel and said and claimed that in one post he could prove that omnipotence and God and free will do not clash, that they are easily reconciled. And let's find that here. And him saying free will and God coexist perfectly. This is his quote here. I can prove it in one post. Let's listen to that post here. When you throw a rock into a pond, the rock sinks, but not because you know that it will. In the same way, the choices you make in life are not made simply because God already knows what you will choose. Ultimately, the choice is always ours to make. What you're neglecting, Believe It 1051, is that there is a reason we make these decisions. There's a reason why I'm making this video right now. The reason why is because I think all of the arguments you've made, and there's plenty I haven't mentioned yet, are epic fails. If I didn't think they're epic fails, I probably would have chosen differently. The point is that my choices are dependent upon my experiences. Those experiences were dependent upon the choices made based on the experiences that preceded them, all the way back to the beginning of time. And guess what decided what happened at the beginning of time? God. You are absolutely right when you say that a stone doesn't fall because we know it will. The stone falls because there's a set law about it. Now, we're going to assume, for the purposes of this argument, that God set those laws. He set the mass of the stone. He set the viscosity of the water, and gravity, and density, and volume of all the objects involved. If I set all of those and threw the rock, then it would indeed be my fault that the rock sunk, not the rock's choosing. In the same way that our choices are dependent upon how we are as people, and who we are as people is dependent upon how God made us. Now, normally I would assume that you've watched all 3 of my Philosophical Proofs videos since you are posting on Philosophical Proofs Part 3, thereby knowing that there's a 1 and a 2. Normally I would assume this, but since you are debating things I've already discussed in my videos, and I've already addressed in my videos, I'm going to assume you haven't and go over them again. See, the reason why what you are saying is completely wrong is because you have the idea of a free will. And that idea is paradoxical with an omnipotent being. An omnipotent being, omnipotence, for those of you who have never seen a video of mine, means all-powerful. you are in control of. It literally means that you control everything. Now, I'm not going to use that as an argument, but at the very least, understand what omnipotence is. God, and omniscience, all-knowing. God knows everything, especially since he made everything the way he wanted it, and he is all-powerful. Now, let's take the idea of a free will and our soul. Are all free wills the same? Are all free wills, whatever they all are carbon copy? Is it one type of essence that is just the ability to make a choice? Or is each free will designed specifically for each human being? I don't think this is a false dichotomy here. It's either one way or the other. Either they're all the same, or there are different types. One or the other. If you're going to say that they're all the same, then they're not free wills. They're not free wills. The only difference is where they're put, what environment they're placed in. If they're all the same, then it's not a free will. Because if I take one free will and put it into one situation, it's going to react the same as if I put a different free will in there. And then God is still controlling everything. Now, if you're going to say that all free wills are different, that we're all unique individuals as far as our souls and our free wills are concerned, then God made them still. God made our free will. That's why God and free will do not coexist. He can't make something that he, without knowing what the outcome is, and not only knowing, without controlling the outcome. He controls the outcome because if he had made those free wills differently, they would make different choices. Think of the way you are now. Think of the genetics that you have. If I could go into you as a forming little embryo before any of your things had formed, just as the sperm meets the egg, and I could change some of your genetic code, do you think you would have made the same choices that you have made today? If I had made you angrier, or taller, or better physical ability, do you really think you would have made the same choices? God is the one that does this. He manipulates everything on the basic level. He decides what genes you're going to get. If he could have easily decided to change the genes. If he had done this, the choices were different. But he chose these ones. Each person, he chose to make that person that way. And that's why your arguments are an epic fail. Now, I'd also like to mention a gentleman by the name, well, I'm going to call him FJ, because I've been talking with him through PM a bunch of times, and I don't want to reveal his name in case he wants privacy. I don't see why I would, but I'm going to be nice about this. Now, FJ has made an incredibly awful argument. Richard the Dick Coughlin 666 has put out a video showing the worst argument for God ever, and I think this is a close second. That person was just idiotic. This argument's just incredibly weak. And that argument is that if the naturalist world is correct, if we exist only because of naturalism, we would never have thought of the supernatural. That would never have entered our mind. If lightning exists, if a person saw lightning and it was a naturalistic world, even though they didn't know it was a naturalistic world, they would never thought of any other explanation. They just would have said, well, I don't know what it is, let's just leave it at that, I don't really care. He's accusing us of having a lack of imagination. Basically saying imagination is only possible if supernaturalism is possible. If the supernatural is possible. Again, I encourage anyone to tell him how awfully wrong he is. I can conceive of a world that is made only through naturalism. I'm conceiving of what, according to FJ, is impossible. So either you have to abandon this idea that we can only conceive of things that are possible, or you have to admit that it is possible that the world is only naturalistic. You can't have it both ways. And that is why, although you've never posted anything on my channel, or maybe you have once or twice, but still, just with this argument here, that's why you are the second biggest epic fail of the night, right behind, believe it, 1051. Now, 1051 is probably going to be posting on this channel, on this video, I've told him, so please tell him why he's so absolutely wrong. I know I will. Hopefully this will actually get off my camera this time. Have a nice day. Honest Discussioner, out.